This conference will now be recorded.
So today we are going to start one of the very important concept called interface in Java. Okay. So we discussed about inheritance. We have discussed about what is object, what is constructor. We discussed about inheritance. Now what is interface? Okay. What is interface and what is the use of it in Java? So if I talk about interface, I can say interface is something you know which will tell you what you need to do, but he is not going to do anything for you. Okay, he is going to only tell you these are the things, boss, you have to do it, but he is not going to do anything for you. Okay, and how you are going to do it, he is he is not bothered about it. Like for example, I told you, you calculate the 3 into 3 into 3 output. Now how you are going to do it, I am not bothered about it. Okay, maybe Ankit, you did it 3 to the power 3. So this did it 3 into 3 into 3. Okay, or maybe Riddhi did it 3 plus 3 plus 3. Okay, so the way you are doing, and that is not my problem. I need the output. I'll tell you, you have to write some program through which it should give me 9 actually. Whether you do it using 3 cube or 3 into 3 or 3 plus 3 plus 3. Okay, so that is what is interface. Interface tell you, boss, you have to do it and you cannot skip it. Like for example, I can tell you, say RBI, he is an interface. Maybe RBI, Reserve Bank of India. So what RBI is going to tell, RBI is going to tell, boss, you have to he is going to set up some rule. He is not bothered how the bank are going to implement. He told you have to set up some fixed deposit facilities. He will tell you have to set up some, you have to give home loan, you have to give education loan, you have to give credit account facility. These are the some set of rules defined by RBI. Now whoever opens any bank in India, okay, they have to follow all the rules. They cannot skip it. It's mandatory for them to follow. So here RBI is an interface and all the banks, they are class. Otherwise, just imagine if RBI was not there, if tomorrow some new bank came up into the market, we are not sure what are the facilities they are having or not. Since RBI is there, we know RBI is taking care. If they don't have FD rate and all these facilities, RBI is not going to allow them to open any bank in India, open any branch in India. Okay, so RBI here is an interface who is going to tell you what are the things they need to do. Now, how they are going to do it, how they are going to implement it, that RBI is not bothered about. Some bank might give fixed deposit rate as 5%, some bank will give 8%, some bank will give 7%. It is up to the bank to bank. Here RBI is an interface and all the banks are classes. So for similar example, take some similar example and let's see. Here I am creating a package called under learn Java. I am creating one package. So child package name dot parent package name dot. Don't create any package with the name interface. Okay, it might create an issue when it's not allowing you also. So just write something Java interface. Okay, because interface is a keyword in Java, so don't create any package with the name interface and all. So I'm creating Java interface. Okay, here let me create an interface. So if I go to the new, till now we are creating class. Can you see something called interface? You can directly create interface also. Okay, so interface you can see, I in blue color and class is C green color. Okay, so select an interface. Now I am creating an interface. I am not creating class. For example, I normally give the same example. I am creating one interface called player. So player is an interface here. If I click select, see public interface player. Till now we are getting public class, this public class BMW, public, class Maruti and all this stuff. Now I am creating an interface. Okay. So I have created an interface player. Now what I told in the interface will tell you what are the things you need to do, but he is not going to implement anything for you. Okay. So let's see. I have created an interface called player. So he is going to tell key boss, you have to implement start, stop and pause function. Okay. So whoever implement any player, these three are the basic function: start, stop and pause. So whether it's a VLC player, media player, Win, other player, WinZ or any other player, these are the three basic function. So let me write public void start. See, if I write like this, I am getting some error message. What error? If I put my cursor, abstract method do not specify body. So he's saying this is an abstract method. The abstract method, you cannot write the body. Mainly in the interface, you have to implement only the abstract method. What is abstract method? Method without body is called abstract method. And what I told in the interface, he is not going to do anything. He will only tell you what you need to do. Right? So as soon as you write the body, basically you can write something here. Some code you can write. But in the interface, he is not going to implement anything. He will only tell. For that, you need not declare any body of any method. And this kind of method is called abstract method. See, without body. Can you see? Public void start. Public void stop. Public void pause. So the method I have created, the abstract method. So in the interface, you can write only abstract methods. That's it. Okay. So this is interface. If you want, you can declare some variable also. I am writing integer, say maximum volume. If I write like this, you will get an error message. You can't declare only maximum volume. You have to initialize it also. What is the maximum volume level? Okay, you can't declare only any variable, you have to initialize. If you don't initialize, you will get an error message. You have to initialize max volume. Okay, so this is an interface. Now, interface mainly created, to force the class to do something, and you cannot skip it inside the class. Now, for example, let's create a class. Say VLC. Okay, so in the inheritance we use extends, right? In the interface we use the keyword implements. So you can say player is an interface and VLC class is implemented from the interface player. Implements. Okay, we use implements player. Okay, so player is an class, sorry, VLC is an class which is implemented from the interface player. Like this, you can create another class also, like say Windows Media Player, for example. This class also can be implemented from player. Sorry, it's got hang on. Yeah. Okay. So I've created one more class. It is also implemented from the player interface. Okay. Now, okay. Now if you see, I am getting an error message here. What is saying? Add unimplemented method. If I go here, he is also saying add unimplemented method. Because I told ki VLC player is implemented from player interface. I told you Windows Media Player is implemented from player interface. But he is giving error message because what I told, whatever the things you mentioned in the interface methods, you have to implement all this method inside the class. Okay, that's the use of interface. Interface will force user to implement those things. You have to. There is no other way. So you have to implement these three methods: start, stop, and pause inside your class. Otherwise, he is going to throw you an error message. So you put your cursor. Okay, you put your cursor here, and you can see add unimplemented methods. You just click here. Can you see? All the methods has been overridden inside a class VLC. Okay, all the three methods. Now there is no error message. Same way for Windows, add unimplemented methods. Okay, so this is what is interface. So interface can force class to implement all the methods. You cannot skip that. Here, if I go back and say type something, uh, say VLC start feature maybe. So you have to implement the start feature. So these are the common feature: VLC stop feature, VLC pause. Okay, got it. So you have to overwrite all the method inside the class, whatever is there in the interface. Same way here also, maybe Windows Media Player, Windows Media Player, Windows Media Player. Correct? So that is what is interface and class. That is what is the relationship between interface and class. So whatever the classes you are going to implement it from an interface, it's mandatory for you. You have to implement all the methods. You have to override all the methods and with body. And here only you can declare the methods. Here only you can write the method body. But in the interface, you cannot declare any method body. You have to write a method without body, and these are called abstract method. You can see there is no this symbol. If you write this symbol, it means you are declaring a method body. Without body, just write the method name, that's it. Okay. Now let's write one class called test player, where I'll have one main function. I am going to write it. So here I am writing player p equal to new player. I'm getting an error message. So the thing is, you cannot declare the you cannot declare the object of an interface. You cannot create an object of an interface. This is not allowed. Okay, this is not allowed. You cannot create an object of an interface. So how you can write player p equal to new? You can write maybe VLC, or you can write WMP, Windows Media Player. Okay, you can write like this, or you can write this is also VLC v equal to new VLC. Got it? This is anyway you guys are aware normal. You can create an object of a class, and this way also you can do interface, and with the help of interface and class. If I write p dot, okay, I can access all this method. P dot hop, p dot pause, p dot maximum volume plus 20. Same here also. V dot start, v dot stop, v dot pause, v dot maximum volume plus 10. Okay, and if I run my program now, say I'm getting out. Same way you can create for Windows Media Player also. You can write, Windows Media Player M equal to new, or player P1 equal to new Windows Media Player. Okay, you can access all these methods. Okay, clear? What is interface? This is what is interface. Now, the question will be, what's the difference between interface and class? Okay, what's the difference between interface and class? So that's the important question. So what's the difference between interface and class? First of all, in the interface, all the methods should be abstract. But in the class, it's not mandatory that all the methods should be abstract. Okay, the method can be abstract, cannot be. I'll tell you. I have not told you as of now the abstract method in the class. Okay, in the class we are declaring the body of a method till now. So there is something called abstract class. There we have to declare the abstract method. Okay, you can declare. That is the first one. Second is, anything you declare in the interface, any variable, you have to initialize it. Right? You have to initialize it. In the class, it's not mandatory for you to initialize. Third is, you cannot create a constructor of an interface. But in the class, you can create a constructor of an class, right? Okay, you can create a constructor of a class. So these are the, some of the, differences between class and interface. So the interface, all the methods should be abstract. You have to initialize all the variables. You cannot create a constructor of an interface. And you cannot create an object of an interface also. This is also will give you an error message. Right? So this is what is interface. Clear? Any question till now in the interface? Okay. Now I can create one more interface also. Say player one. So one interface is player, one is player one. Here, for example, I have some. Okay. before I go for it, so interface, when you implement any class from an interface, it's mandatory for you. You have to override all these methods, right? Start, stop, and pause. You can override all these methods. But it doesn't mean that you cannot write your own method. If you write, he can provide some extra feature also. Okay, the class can have his own method also, like public void. Then, for example, uh, color change. For example, you can change the color of the VLC player. Okay, that is his own method. Change color. Just for example, okay. So this class can have its own method. That's not a problem. Interface is not stopping to do that. Only focus of the interface is to whatever the method I told you, this class need to implement. That's it. As soon as the class is implemented, its interface is happy. He is not bothered about anything. So now question is where I can access. If you write p dot see here, I cannot access change color or anything. That is the only difference. But here if I write v dot, can you say color change? Here I can call. To create an object like this, player p equal to new VLC player, you can access only those method whatever is mentioned in the player interface and implemented by VLC player class. Okay, but if you create an object of like this, you can access all the method whatever is present in VLC player, whether it's overridden from the interface or whether it's it's its own method. It's the same, almost kind of same whatever we discussed in polymorphism, right? When I write car C equal to new BMW, so we can access only the method whatever is uh, present in the car class, right? We cannot access the other method. Same concept here also. You can access only the method whatever is there in interface and implemented in the class. Okay, you can't access anything else. Okay, so that's the difference between creating an object like player p equal to new VLC or VLC b equal to new VLC. Okay, hope this is clear. Any question till now? Class interface, what is the difference and all?
No questions, Abhishek.
Okay. Now we have created one more interface called player one. Here, let me declare some method. Public void, say what I should do. Say some method first forward. So it should be abstract method, right? Public void, say back forward something, right? Two method I have declared, two abstract method I have declared. Okay, two abstract method I have declared in this interface player one. Now in the inheritance, I told you multiple inheritance is not supported in Java, right? You cannot extract one class from multiple parent classes, correct? But in the interface, that is not the case. You can implement one class from multiple interfaces. This class, you can write player, comma, player one. That you can write. You can write another also. Player 2, player 3, player 4. So you can implement one class from any number of interfaces. Now say as soon as I write player 1, I am getting error message. He's saying add unimplemented methods. Because when you write like this, you have to implement all the method from player as well as player 1. I have implemented only from player, right? So if I remove, that's it. I have no error. But as soon as you write player 1, it's required for you to implement all the method from player 1 also. So put your cursor, add unimplemented methods. So click here. See. Can you see these two methods, first forward and back forward? So these two methods also you have to implement. You have to implement all the methods. So I am just writing say first forward or something. Just only that's it. Here also I am writing back forward. That's it. Now if I go, where can you access? Can I access here? P dot? No, definitely not, right? Because here I can access only the method whatever is present in player. Here definitely it should allow me. V dot, see first forward. V dot back forward. Got it? Here you can access everything. Now, if I create player 1 P1 equal to new VLC. Here what are the method I can access? Only back forward and first forward. These two. Because these two method is only present inside the player 1. That's it. Got it? Any question till now? Can ask. You can implement multiple inheritance is not supported, but multiple implementation of a class from multiple interfaces is supported. You cannot extend one class from multiple classes. One class from multiple.
Abhishek, I have a question here. So this
Yes.
B dot fast forward. So under VLC, we are able to access, right?
What's your question? V dot fast forward.
Yeah. So we're able to access this fast forward and back forward under V dot VLC.
Yes. V dot you can access everything because you are creating the object of VLC class. So whatever is there in VLC class, you can access everything.
Okay.
When you create an object of any class, okay, we can access all the method, right, from that class.
Yeah.
So this is the case.
Okay. Thank you.
But first case and last case is different, right? So I'm creating the object
Yeah.
reference of player 1. I can access only the method whatever is there in player 1. So basically it depends on this. Whatever I am writing player 1, I can access only whatever is there here. When I write VLCV, I can access all the method whatever is there in VLC. When I write player, I can access only the method whatever is there in player. So in VLC, I have all the method whatever is there in player as well as player 1, right? So it's allowing me to access.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
So that is what is it. Ridhi, it's fine.
Yes, Abhishek.
Now, can I create a constructor of an VLC? Is it possible?
No,
No. Why? Why it's not possible?
because this VLC is being implemented from a interface and we cannot create constructor for interface.
VLC is not an interface.
Okay.
VLC is a class, right? So as soon as I told you, you can create a constructor of any class. You can create a constructor of player or player 1. but definitely you can create a constructor of VLC.
Okay.
That's not an issue.
Okay.
That's right.
Yeah.
So I can create public VLC. VLC constructor. Okay. Now if I go here and call every PLC constructor in the first PLC constructor. Clear?
Yes, Abhishek.
So this is what is interface. Any question you can ask me. If I create player P1 equal to WMP Windows Media Player, it should allow me to access only start, stop and pause. Okay, I cannot access fast forward and back forward because here it is only player, not player 1, comma player 1. Okay, that is what is interface. So if it is a clear, like inheritance, I'll give you, you know, one more homework. You just, go through it, draw it, and try to do it. This, instead of that, do that. Yeah, see, here what I am doing. What you need to do, can you see here? Under that, I have three methods: fixed deposit rate, say recurring deposit rate, and credit account. So all these three methods are abstract method, right? Because in the interface you cannot declare the body of an method. And I declared one variable also, base rate, which I need to initialize. Correct? Now there is one more interface I created, RBI loan. There I have home loan, personal loan, car loan. So I have two interfaces. Now I created one class called ICICI Bank, where I wrote implements RBI. As soon as I write implements RBI, I have to implement all these three methods, right? Otherwise you will get an error message. So you see, you have to put your cursor on ICICI, then you have to click implements ICICI. Implements unimplemented method. Add unimplemented methods. You have to add all the methods. All these three methods will get created. That's what I did. Then I created one of its own feature also, online fixed deposit. That's it. Now I created one more class called HDFC. There I wrote implements RBI, RBI loan, like what I did in VLC. So if I write it, for here, how many methods I have to implement? What are the methods I have to implement in HDFC?
RBI and RBI loan.
Six. Yeah, so
Six
total
methods.
6 methods I have to, right?
6 method. Yeah.
So you have to implement all the 6 methods. So implement all the 6 methods here, and you create your own method also, like international money transfer, IMT, or maybe education loan, specific to this class. That's what we did, right? Today. Now here I told you create one more child class of this class. Now this is a class, I am creating one child class. Basically I am merging interface also in the same as, sorry, inheritance also. Inheritance and interface both. So I told you create HDFC Karnataka and you make it as a child class and HDFC is the parent class. So in HDFC Karnataka you have to write extends HDFC, correct? Here I told you, you override this education loan method and you write its own method current account. Got it, the scenario? You write your own method current account. Once you do this, now you create a separate class and here you try out all these things and see what you can access. You write RBIR equal to new ICICI, RBI R1 equal to new HDFC, RBI loan R2 equal to new HDFC, RBI loan R3 equal to new HDFC Karnataka Bank, RBI R4 equal to new HDFC Karnataka Bank, HDFC H1 equal to this, H2 equal to this, and using R dot, R1 dot, R2, R3, R4, H1, H2 dot, and see what are the method you can access and see if it is as per your logic or not. Then you create two constructor, one is here and see where it is calling. Then you create one more constructor in HDFC in both the classes and see where it is calling. So whenever you create new HDFC, it will call this constructor. Wherever you are creating new HDFC Karnataka Bank, it will call both the constructor, right? You know, the child class constructor it will be called, and child class constructor internally will call the parent class constructor. It will call both the constructor whenever you are creating object of HDFC Karnataka. You try it out like in inheritance, and make sure that picture you draw it in your paper, and then start writing it, implementing it, and see the output and match the output with this picture. You can answer any question on interface. Nothing is going to stop. Same as inheritance. Clear? Can you do it?
Yes, Abhishek.
Yes,
We'll try
Abhishek.
it.
Yeah.
Okay. Please try it out. If there is any doubt, anything, you can let me know. Okay, don't ignore. Okay, that's it. Okay, let me stop.